the rich is crying because of money. That means the poor will be weeping.
Money will not always be there. That is one fact you would understand. Whether the money is coming from you, whether it's coming from the man.
Hi guys, welcome to Let's Get Real here on CSTV, where we get you covered 100% from relationship to finance and leadership. And I am your incredible host, Temitayo Olumofe. There's so much to unravel today. Guys, don't go anywhere. And don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and then Twitter on my CSTV and on YouTube, Common Sense Television. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. If you're just tuning in, this is Let's Get Real here on Common Sense Television. And today we will be looking into what drives relationship. For some people, it is money. Love is sweet though. When money enters, love is sweeter. For some people, it's fantasy. For some people, it's just for being in relationship's sake. So there's a whole lot around, that surrounds the relationship thing. And I will be doing this alongside our guest on the show today. On my right-hand side, I have Miss Faith. Yes, I have Mr. George. Yes, and on my left-hand side, I have Mrs. Denado. So I said earlier on about what drives relationship. People have their perspective. They have whatever it is that drives them, that makes them go into relationship. So I'm not starting from you, I'm starting from her. What do you think drives you as an individual into a relationship?
Okay, for me as a person, I look out for certain features, which might include the person's sense of purpose. If you have no. Who says spark help? For me as a person, I just feel you should have an ambition, you should have a goal, you should have something driving you. But most importantly, I'm also of the opinion that you should be financially ready.
No finance, no romance.
No romance without finance, my sister. So basically, it's beyond the mushy feeling. Because once that phase is over, what next?
Yeah.
You come to terms with the reality of life. Okay, these are the things I want to achieve. These are the things I want to do. What plans do you have for your family? How do you intend achieving those plans? And for me as a person, I feel money is the thing that also help you to fast track whatever dream,
money
whatever
plan. Something.
My sister,
it's important.
It's a very necessary facility.
All right, before I move to the gentleman here, let me move to Mrs. Denado. What do you think drives relationship? She just said money. You said from the beginning of the show that love is sweet though. When money enters, love is sweeter. So what do you think drives relationship?
All right. She has said some valid things. However, I want to come from the angle that says, can two work together except they agree? And for me, that agreement is about compatibility, which I believe starts from the level of friendship that can develop into love. Because, yes, you may have money, but we have equally seen life where there is money, and the factor of friendship that leads to love is lacking, and it makes the money seems to be useless.
So money is actually not the determinant factor here.
It shouldn't be the core value in a relationship. You should start from establishing a friendship, establishing love. Let it be a tie, something that brings you, that bonds you beyond just the material things, because material things, anything can happen to it at any point in time. So what happens to the relationship if that money thing is no longer there?
What if it fizzles away? Okay, let's hear from the gentleman here. Probably I'm just listening from the female angle. Let's hear from the male angle.
Okay, well, it's brilliant idea they all brought to the table, but I would say the question you asked is what drive. So
What drives? Yeah,
so
what push?
what is the driving force?
Yes.
So if money
What
should be
keeps
the
it
driving
emotion?
force, like my sister said, yeah, then
No
when
romance
there
without
is
finance.
no money, meaning you're stuck, you can't move. But relationship need to be moving.
Thank
So
you.
what makes it move? If it's money, then you will be having an issue because money
Why,
will always.
why do you
because
think there's
money-
going to be an issue?
Money
There's
will
going to be
not
an
always
issue.
be there.
You think so?
Money will not always be there. And the question you ask yourself that, okay, if money is the pilot, because there are some things you're not in control of.
Things like.
One of the things is money. Okay, let me say, for instance, your husband or your fiancé is running a business and something happened and the finance is no longer there the way it used to be. What will happen? Will you say, I don't want anymore? And if it's love, the way love is being defined it's more of an emotional thing. So when you begin to feel that, okay, because you will not always feel the emotion of love in a relationship. Even for couples, it's not every time you feel like, okay, sometimes you just feel. So I like when she started with friendship, when there is friendship, but to me, I would say purpose. Because if purpose is the pilot, then, because when you say purpose, you have a particular thing you're driving.
But that
into.
purpose you are trying to talk about, somebody said, our own love language is money. Our love language is money.
Okay,
It has to be money or nothing.
And if she said money,
Yes.
now we all have what we want in a relationship. But my
Okay.
question is that one sustainable?
Well, for me, you can't blame people for wanting what they want. Because, for instance, someone who has gone through a difficult childhood, from growing up from your primary school into your secondary school to your university days, it has been struggle all around. You think the person would just willingly jump at a love offer above a monetary offer?
Maybe
Who
perhaps
wants
that's why
to-
we have people like the hush puppies, whom feels that everything there is to life is making money, and it doesn't matter whose ox is God, so long as you have the money, you can live large. But let me tell you, let's put it practically.
Okay.
We've been on lockdown since March. From March till now. I mean, look at how life has dealt with most people. Even those who thought they really had money and their businesses were set. They suddenly woke up and find out that the business is not so set after all. So what happens to a relationship where it is all about money and is so tied to money? What it means is that that relationship is dead on arrival. So I wouldn't succumb to it that money should be should be the most essential thing in a relationship.
I beg to differ. on
Because
the
if you
point,
have
because-
friendship, even when you have problems, you can come to the table and try to explain your point of view, what you feel about the
But it's
issue
like
at
Miss-
hand,
it's like Miss
and
Rachel is
then
not
there is an
agreeing.
understanding between the two of you that can help you foster a way forward in that kind of scenario. But once it is money, even if you were rich and suddenly may God forbid, if your husband happened to be very rich, had a thriving business, and all of a sudden he has an accident and he can no longer function the way he's supposed to function, what happens? Relationship, let us go to the court, let us divorce.
It's
Come
beyond-
on.
For me, beyond that, I feel where you're now looking at it from is from one side having the money. There is no crime that says that the woman can be more financially buoyant than the man. So in a way, even when the man is probably on lockdown recession,
So
it does.
Wait,
It
have
shouldn't.
you ever heard about the rich also cry?
I know. I'm not.
Have you
dis-
heard the instance the rich also cry?
Okay, can we-
that there are people who actually have the physical money, the money is there, but money can't buy you happiness. Money cannot buy you joy. Whatever money will
Should-
bring to you,
should-
in as much
if-
as is
if the
essential,
rich-
it will eventually
Okay,
erase
okay.
whatever
If
the
the
hold
rich
on,
is crying
hold on.
because of money, that means the poor will be weeping. Because
Yeah.
for me, if as a rich
But the
person,
poor, a lot of the times, they are even happier than those who
they are
have the
happy,
money.
they are happier
Because they
Like,
realize that there is a friendship part to it,
They
there is
are-
a love part to life.
Okay.
They-
Come on.
Okay,
Okay.
please go ahead.
They are happy. For me, if I'm going to consider it from that context, there are different things that drive happiness. So for you, for some persons, it could be living in a one-room apartment, and the fact that you're able to meet up with your basic necessity makes you happy. The fact that you're seeing your children around you make you happy. But for some persons, the fact that, okay,
What
you're
brings
li-
about that relationship? You're talking about the family. If it's not love, it's not
Okay,
friendship.
please
and
hold.
beyond
Let's
love,
hold on for Mr.
that is on one angle. The other,
I don't understand. These ladies, you are making them shine over you.
No, I like when people say their view but there should be a balance. Now, money is important in relationship.
important,
I accept that.
She's trying to correct you. It's important.
Money is important in a relationship, but it's not the most important.
It's not.
It's
Thank
not the
you.
most important. This is it. Okay. If you are to be in a relationship, if for instance now I approach you and I ask that you say the number one key factor for you is money. Is money. So because this is it, money will not always be there. That is one fact you would understand. Whether the money is coming from you, whether it's coming from the man,
okay,
money will not
If-
always
whether the money
there.
is coming from you or the man, yes,
or the
yes,
man.
You can't always assume that the money won't always be
yes.
there.
We need to
No,
go
but
on this
nobody is
commercial
saying-
break. Yes, we need to go on this commercial break. Guys, stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back, guys. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about what drives relationship on Let's Get Real. And on my right hand side, Miss Faith said it's money. She said it's money. Money is is part of what drives relationship because money is important, like you said.
Yeah.
My goodness. And that it's that driving force, like that's the one of the content or ingredients that drives relationship.
Yes, exactly. Because you're going into a relationship and you're bringing children into the relationship. Are the children going to be feeding on love too?
So what are you going to say about
Okay,
that strategy?
this is what I would say. Okay, for instance, if you're to set that, even from the beginning, anything that happens without a purpose must have an issues. When the purpose of a thing is not known, the number one thing you need to ask is, what's the relationship for? Is the purpose of relationship to print money?
Maybe to buy cars
Or
and
to
big
buy
houses
cars? What's
or
the purpose
something.
of relationship?
If you're
Because
going into a relationship-
if you focus on money as the key factor in relationship, there are certain things that are, okay, what's the vision of your relationship? Is it just to print money?
Those are
What
the
are
things
the-
you have to highlight from the point
Yeah,
of
you
dating.
need to highlight them.
Fine, you should have, like I said at the beginning,
Okay.
it's not necessarily that everything should be focused about money, money, money. You are having your
No,
sense of
but no,
purpose.
with the way you're
What is
saying,
driving
let
you?
me
What
know.
are you heading
No,
towards?
this is what you're
But
saying.
at the same
No,
time,
wait, this is what you're saying.
When
You're
I
telling
see
me
somebody,
the reason why
the
I'm
first
in
thing I need
marriage
to
is
do
because
is
of
check
money.
him out or check him or her out. Okay, do you have money? If you have money, then you can be my friend. So long as you don't have money, whoosh,
No,
nothing
that-
to
that's
do.
because- no,
That-
this-
that
no,
life
I'm
doesn't
coming,
run
I'm
like
coming,
that.
I'm
So
coming, I'm coming.
like George said,
Yeah.
if you have a purpose, and for you to even have a purpose and work with somebody, what's the relationship? Relationship is having a bond with another. That's a
Okay.
relationship. So for there to be a bond, there's a level of friendship, there's a level of tolerance, acceptability of you trying to accommodate the view of another.
Okay.
And with that, you can have a purpose, just like what he said. And then two of you can actually drive to that extent. Take, for instance, a lot of people, when they get married, how many of us really have money? But we had friendship. We had a likeness. And with that, we're able to marry it with our purpose.
Okay.
And said, okay, fine, I think this person is somebody worth moving with. And I think we share similar ideas. Therefore, we can build something substantial for the future.
Okay.
And then gradually you begin to work on the money
Hold on,
thing.
please. I wanna
Money is
ask her a
money for
question.
me.
Okay.
Money in a relationship, it should be a process. It's a process because I mean,
Okay,
as a person, if you come to me because of my money, I really want to that
It's
for
not
friendship
everybody
because
that
when I
shows-
have
Okay,
problem,
it's not
when I
everybody-
have problem,
it's not
you will
every-
not be there
it's
for
not
me.
everyone
The
that
question
shows
is,
it visibly
if-
that they're coming after the money. But if you're looking at it from another angle, what would drive a 20-year-old or a 19-year-old to go for a man at a 60-year-old if the man doesn't have money? If it was a poor man that approached the person with that age gap or whatever it is, or whatever differences that would exist there, would the same person have readily gone for the person?
No, but such are done in society,
So sometimes,
whether rich or poor.
yes. So
And it's the
but
friendship thing that we are talking about.
But
the love thing.
the same love cannot be transmitted to a younger person.
Okay, so what,
No, 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 no.
what are we giving?
No,
what are
because
you-
for instance, now,
okay.
I'm looking at it from different angle. When you're looking at the issue of polygamy too, most times it's, aside from the olden days where you get people who don't see it as a big deal and all that compared to our contemporary times. Presently, before you see people easily agree to cohabit, you should know that it is more monetarily motivated than the actual love. Because you can't tell me that you've not seen a younger person within the same age group or slightly older than you that it's your father's age mate
That you want to,
that you want to
start
go.
following.
So sometimes for some people, it might be from the sense of, okay,
Okay,
fine, I
okay,
know that love is
I want
important,
to take you up
but
on what
I
you
need
just said now.
somebody to help me achieve the things I want to
Macron
achieve.
into perspective.
Okay.
He's married to his old school teacher.
Okay.
So are you going to tell me it's because he had money, that's why the woman fell for him or something?
And that is just the one-off case. I
No,
would
we
say.
have several cases in
Okay, one
Nigeria
of-
here.
Oh,
So it
one
doesn't
case.
follow. That's what I want.
Okay, I think Mr. George
I
wants to
think
say something.
let's put it, let's balance it. Now, we are not saying money is not important now. Money is important because you need money to finance many things in a relationship.
Okay.
But when you focus on money, you lose the purpose of the relationship. Now, the relationship is a journey. Now, you need money at all times, but when you don't know the destination of this relationship, which is the purpose, the money itself will not have, will not be able to use the money well to finance. This is it. For instance, I've seen relationships that had issues not because of lack of money. Okay. And I've also seen relationships that had issues. In fact, most people who break up in relationship, it's not because there was no love. So I still love him, but there was something that was missing.
You think people don't break up because this guy doesn't have money?
I've seen people who have also broken up because, not because of, you see, money cannot hold a relationship as much as purpose.
You think
can
so?
Hold, yes, money cannot hold a relationship.
So what do you think can even
more
hold
than
this
hold the
relationship we're
relationship.
talking about?
So that is why I said purpose. For instance, if you set out now, the reason why, if you look at life itself, the reason why you see so many things not being in place, disorder, is because there is no purpose. You see a president that came to sit without a purpose, and you just see they begin to mismanage. So when the purpose of anything is not known, now many people, I've seen where couples just have children. Now if you ask them, why do you need children? They say, we get married now, we need to have children. Now the desire of having children is what they have in mind. Now, but if they tie this to, okay, I need to have a children because this and this and this and this and this, so they will be able to nurture. So when you tie anything to a purpose,
how about
you'll be able to
couples
journey
who
well.
just get into relationship just to have kids?
No,
What are you going to say about those ones?
that is what I'm saying. Now, if the kid did not come in the relationship, what will happen? Would they go their different
What
ways?
if it might? What
No,
if?
there
What,
are people who go into search for different purposes.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, something that is trending among some ladies these days is baby mama. All they need to do is have their baby. They are not interested in getting married.
So
They
that's-
want to
that's their
fulfill
own
a
drive.
purpose. They want to fulfill this love thing. They want somebody to love them, or they want to be loved by somebody. You understand? It's not all about the money. We have seen in society people that have money. The rate of divorce is even higher with such kind of couples compared to the poor ones. The poor ones know that together they can work at it and then arrive at that point. Because, I mean, take for instance, all of the young couples that are getting married, let's keep waiting for money. Who is going to get married? I mean, how much do you have in your account when you graduated from school? And then you have to wait till you have money. That means you might have to wait till you're 50 years old before you begin to get married. Before you talk about love. Before you talk
I'm
about
coming.
falling
Let me
in
also
love.
ask
When
this
you're in love with
question.
somebody.
You will talk, but let me ask you this question. Okay, for instance, if money was not a key factor in life, meaning if money is like a tree where each and every one of us can go and plug and have it, what would be your reason for being in a relationship?
Well, then the next thing should be for companionship.
Meaning you're
Coming
telling
back
me
to my
now,
friendship.
now you're telling me now
at
that
the same
money is
time,
not.
I'm not saying,
Because-
I'm responding based on your question. But coming to the aspect of maybe the rate of divorce rates being more pronounced within the rich than those
Than
that
the
are
poor.
poor. I feel it's because for a poor person, who they reason their matter. So you're more publicized when
They
you're
are
in the
more
spotlight.
ready to work
But-
it out. They are more ready to work it out. Those
And-
that feel that they have the money, they don't have the time because they feel
And
money
they're
is the
still,
key thing.
whether
And
you're poor
if-
or rich,
and-
it doesn't
and God
exempt your
help you-
relationship from facing tough times.
And God
so
help
it's
you-
about the personalities involved. And for me, where I'm coming from with the angle of money being important and all, it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay, after everything, after all is said and done, when the family is having downtime, both of them part ways. The same way, you can make money and lose it, but the ability to even have that fighting spirit that, okay, whatever happens, we'll still, I know that in some ways it might look like, okay, one is coming back to the other
Let's keep
side
it on
of the
this commercial
divide.
break. Guys, stay tuned. We are still here on Let's Get Real. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, guys. We will be wrapping up shortly, and this is Let's Get Real here on Common Sense Television. We've been talking about what drives relationship, and Mr. George has said that purpose, purpose is what drives relationship. It's not money. While Ms. Faith feels it's mullah. Yeah, mullah that drives relationship. While Mrs. Donato thinks it's, from the picking it up from the friendship level. And then start building it from there, that money will fizzle. What if the money fizzles?
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll be wrapping up shortly. So, in conclusion, what would you say completely drives relationship?
I would want to bring about a marriage between friendship that culminates in love and purpose. Your friendship working in harmony with purpose will eventually lead you to the place of money. But money should not be the primary reason why you want to bond with people.
Okay, how about Mr. George?
Okay, I would also say the driving force, money is essential. That I know because I'm not a poor man. So, but I'm not tying my relationship to money
Okay.
because there are so many things to do in money. For the core essence of relationship is not money. Relationship was produced for a purpose, to serve another purpose. So we should have a template. Okay, this is our relationship. This is what we want to. This is the model we want to show society.
Okay.
So we have a vision that is the purpose. So it's the purpose of
What's
relationship.
that model you want to show the society?
So it's, for instance, my own family system. We're creating a family system where we show that there are good and godly relationships that is sustainable. So we have a purpose.
What do you mean by godly relationship?
When I mean godly relationship, I mean, by godly relationship, we have so many things that happens in relationship.
Okay,
such
so-
as, so we have children who,
Do you feel every relationship has to be godly?
every relationship should be godly because God is the author of relationship. Godly relationship means it should have a God factor to a relationship. Relationship is not for just you and him.
And besides
It's
that,
for
you can
us.
also be moral. There are people that you look at their morals. There are people that you look at as mentors. And you can imagine if you want somebody to mentor you and you're thinking of money in the relationship, you won't have access to that person really.
Okay,
Once they
so-
get the inkling that money is the thing that is driving.
It's the driving force.
Yeah.
Okay, so Miss Faith.
Okay, for me, in conclusion, I would say, while it necessarily shouldn't be money, but at the same time, you also need it to cushion whatever pressure that or challenges that might need to be sorted out in the course of your relationship. For instance, you love someone, you love the person deeply, the person wishes to further their education. Maybe they were only able to afford the secondary school certificate they want to further, and all you're preaching to the person is love, love, love. If the person has something is driving at, definitely it will look elsewhere for what they need. It might not necessarily come out to tell you that things because you don't have what it takes to finance my dream. So for that, I would say money is important. And at the same time, if you're looking at it from the fact that the person is not even going to school, maybe it's a business idea you have, and all through your life, you've been struggling to see how you can actualize it. And you have somebody who can help you fast track that ambition compared to somebody who is just preaching love, love, love to you.
Are you in the boski?
So,
Are you a preacher of love?
so for me, I feel it's more likely that the person would go for who will help them fast track their dream. Because
Sponsorship,
So are you trying that?
relationship.
Is
Thank
it actually,
you.
is it actually
Thank
bad,
you,
is it a bad
George.
thing for if
Sponsorship.
your
I like that word.
If your spouse or intending
Not friendship,
your wife
not
that you want to get
relationship.
married
You're a
to,
human being. You have 2 legs, 2 hands. You should be able to.
Are you
provide
trying to say
financially.
that
The
you
person
cannot
looking for
contribute
who
to your
to
wife's
assist
No,
dream?
you will contribute, but that if that should be
No,
your
before the
reason,
person becomes your wife,
it's
there has to
already
be a
turn off.
relationship
If that is
established
your
in the
reason,
first
it's already
place.
a turn off.
Okay.
but
so,
you know that it's possible for people to pretend and pretend until they achieve what they want. There's a possibility for someone to act like they're not necessarily interested in your money.
okay.
So that you don't make them, they don't look like gold digger to you.
All right.
But at the same time, there's someone that once said that a woman allows a man to chase her until she catches him.
Okay.
So in that way, they might just keep playing along like she's interested or she doesn't care. But
All
she
right.
knows what she wants.
Okay, so like Mr. George has said, you're looking for a sponsor. If you start putting money ahead, yeah, sponsorship, right? Okay,
That is what you like.
Okay, so guys, you've heard
what
from
it is.
different people. You've had them say that this is what drives relationship. For Faith, she said money is very important, and we have George said purpose, and then we also have the friendship aspect to it. So guys, that is all we've got for you on Let's Get Real on CSTV today. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms at MyCSTV, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and on YouTube it's Common Sense Television. Don't forget to stay glued to Let's Get Real. Bye.